now that we all are aware that it's recording. Um, so I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I started doing in August, and this could be really helpful. In May, if you have any questions, seriously ask, because I know that this is all totally new for you. Okay? Like, okay, just ask. So for the whole month, because I knew that I was going to be going back to work full time, I printed off these, literally, I found them by Googling monthly calendars. I know there's easier ways, but I literally just Googled a monthly calendar and I printed off August through December and stapled them. And I planned out my posts like basically for the entire month based on my marketing plan. And I used to do it based on like each week, but now that I've kind of come up with more of a structure of what I'm going to be posting on what day. So May, I'm going to, I'll kind of back up a little bit, but like one of the things that we teach, and like you've probably seen, you know, from like my stories and my feed and all that kind of stuff, is that we share a lot of the same things over and over and over again, because it's why people follow you, right? Like our goal is always to serve our audience. It's always to go out and just serve people. So like anything that you can, so if you love like gardening, or if you love, you know, I don't know, Kenna loves beer, like Kenna, you know, like if you have, you know, like just stuff that like makes you who you are, just share tips on how to do whatever of those things, right? Like my big thing, like I love sharing recipes and meal prepping and stuff, like especially when I go back to work, like meal prepping for the whole week is my jam. I haven't really had the energy to do that the last couple of weeks, but it's just like my jam, right? But I also share a lot about like, and Allison shares a lot about her BRCA stuff too, because that's how Allison and I connected, is because we both have had mastectomies, we're impacted by breast and ovarian cancer, that kind of stuff. So every Friday for me is Foodie Friday. So every Friday I talk about something having to do with BRCA1 or like anything with my mastectomy, ovarian cancer, any of that kind of stuff. And then my marriage is another one that I share a lot about, because Andy and and I'm super public with this. We were separated a few years ago, on the verge of a divorce, like custody hearings, like the whole thing. And now we have a great marriage. And I never in my life thought that I would ever be able to say that. And so I share about all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's just like different stuff that like I personally share, but Kenna and Allison, you guys can, you know, share some of the stuff that make you like who you are too, if you want, just so she gets an idea, I guess.
Yeah, so I usually do like motherhood, Beachbody. I like to do recipes as well. And then like a personal development, I like to journal. I journal a lot. So I'll do like a journal. I'll share a journal prompt, or just talk about how like practicing gratitude has made my life better, stuff like that.
I definitely post about BRCA stuff. I definitely post about workouts. I post about personal development, mindset, a little bit of marriage, like a lot of parenting and motherhood struggles, and trying to think, and vegan.
Does this help? Go ahead.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I post about like travel and places I go to. I post a lot of pictures of me, or I like to post quotes or I'm a Christian, so I like to post about the Bible verses that I feel helpful to me. I'm not married, but I was in a relationship, but it didn't work out. So I just, I pray to God a lot, and I've been a Christian since I was a kid.
Yes. So you can share all of that kind of stuff. So when we share all of these things about who we are, right? So in the training, you'll learn that we are Beachbody coaches, right? Like that's you, yay. I'm so excited for you to be with us. Seriously, it's so fun. It really is so fun. But one of the really awesome things is that you can actually make this whatever you want it to be, right? So I know you and I kind of talked about how you wanted to earn a little extra income to kind of help you pay off some of your debt and stuff. Which I actually just made a post about that because Andy and I have big goals over the next couple of years with like debt payoff and stuff. So one of the things that you'll learn is that we are Beachbody coaches, but we're more than just coaches. So we share a lot about how Beachbody is part of our lifestyle and it's just part of who we are. And when we share, it's more, we just share things that we love instead of trying to sell it, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like when you buy a new pair of jeans, if you love the jeans, you're going to talk about it and you're going to share it and you're going to tell people where you got them because you love the jeans. Do you know what I mean? So that's how we do all of this with Beachbody is we basically just share the stuff that we love. Does that make sense? So we can talk more about, all of this and I can help you like kind of break it all down and stuff like that too. There's a whole other training that I have for you too. So you'll learn a lot more in that. Okay. I feel kind of bad because you haven't really gone through, that part of it, but you're just diving right in with us. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, you guys, printing this off and planning my posts on like literally what I'm going to be sharing for the entire month is super, super helpful. Like it really
So
did.
when you're saying you planned for the whole month, like you just planned like Foodie Friday, or like do you actually talk? Because I try to like make posts relevant too to like what is happening like in my life during the week. Like, so I don't know, like what do you mean you've planned them for the whole month? Just your theme?
No, like I don't just have like the topic, I have actually what it is that I'm sharing about that day. So yes, I like to be posting stuff. So right, like the last week in August, like last week, I was supposed to be doing a sneak peek. And I didn't, that did not happen in my life at all. Like I was not on it to do a sneak peek in coaching. Like I could barely function. Like I couldn't do it. So I did alter kind of what I had planned for last week, just because we're all battling COVID. So I kind of talked about that. But I did kind of stick to, like when I had coaching sneak peek, like I put like talk about coaching, but in my phone. So this is another thing that I do. I have different folders for each type of thing that I post about in my notes section. And then within that folder, I have all these different posts. So I'll go back through and kind of edit a post that I've talked about previously and make it a little bit more relevant for today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's like a coaching based one, like if I'm trying to recruit to the coaching opportunity, I will, sorry, Hannah just came downstairs. And he's trying to take her back up. It's like you put the kids to bed, but they don't actually go to bed. They just keep coming down like
Same.
over and over again. It's so annoying.
Same.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, it just really is. Anyway, but so like even at the beginning of the month, I put down like all of the things that I needed. So I like on Saturdays, I share usually a tip or a recipe. So I wrote that I needed 4 recipes for the month. And so I'll know what recipes those are going to be. And if I'm going to make them a reel, I'll make sure that I take little videos while I'm making that recipe so that I have it ready to post.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so like I know that I'm posting about our marriage like 4 different times. So I know I need pictures, like 4 different pictures of me and Andy. Do you know what I mean? Like I just started making notes of that because I've got to figure out how I'm going to do all this when I go back to work full time. So
Yeah.
I'm like trying to like maximize what's happening. You know, I mean, and actually May's in grad school too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Kenna just finished her undergrad degree.
I will never go to grad school.
It's hard.
It's undergrad was hard. Like no thanks. I don't even know. I don't even. You're doing amazing. I'm sure.
I try not to give up.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a lot.
undergrad was hard. I can't even imagine how hard a graduate degree is. I definitely don't have it in me right now. That's for darn sure.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a lot on my plate right now. So I need to learn how to manage my time wisely. It's too much.
Are you working too and going to grad school?
Yes.
Holy moly. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Are you working full time?
No part-time.
Part time? Okay.
Mhm.
We can talk. There's a lot of trainings and stuff on time management. And I know here I am, and I work in higher ed, like I teach students how to manage their time. I know. So I can help you with that too.
That would be
I
great.
need to teach myself how to manage my time.
Mhm.
I do better with a full plate. I can tell you that right now.
I do too.
Like way better when I have structure in my life and none of this free for all stuff. But yeah, so that is just my little tip on, I haven't fully planned out everything for September yet. I just kind of finished my marketing plan for September last night, which is going to lead into the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So Allison, I did actually send you guys, all of you actually, sorry, Andy's getting ice. It's not cereal, if you're wondering.
Just ice.
Yeah, it's just ice. But Daisy, our puppy.
Is there ice in your bedroom? Are you in your bedroom?
No.
Oh.
This is where I work out.
Oh.
I'm in the middle of my house.
It looks like there's a bed to your right from my, like, I don't know, like I can't tell what exactly is indiscriminately behind you. Okay.
My weights. But no, Daisy loves ice. Like literally, she can be anywhere in the house and you use the ice maker and she comes running out.
Oh,
It's so funny. Anyway, so for September, Biggest Loser is coming back. All right, so let me give you, I know Allison and Kenny, you guys kind of know a little bit Biggest Loser, but let me give you the details. All right, so September 27th is prep for Biggest Loser. Okay, day 1 is officially October 4th. All right, so my people, like my audience, like they love Biggest Loser. So I am marketing for Biggest Loser all month long. All right. And I gave you guys the Canva slides that you can make a copy of. If you don't make a copy of it, it's going to edit my slides. So that's why I stress that make a copy. Allison showed me proof that she did in fact make a copy.
I did.
And you can
I
edit
know how
that.
to do that now. Every time I do it, it still takes me time to figure out how to make a copy, but I always know that I need to make a copy.
Yes. But you guys are free to like use those, edit those however you want to. Okay, make your own, whatever you want to do. But Biggest Loser, all right, so it's a 30-day challenge. All right, we do them 3 times a year, usually like September, October, January, and then usually one in the spring, like April, May. Sometimes we do it in June. It just kind of depends on the timing and like what we're kind of feeling. But basically the rules are, it is a $20 buy-in, okay? Everybody who is in the competition has to have a current order of Shakeology or the performance line, which is our pre and post workout. Okay. Because I mean, we are proof that the products work. So when we use all of the total solution, then we know that you get results. We know that when you do the workouts, you follow the nutrition programs, you drink Shakeology, you get the results. It's just, I mean, we're all proof of it, right? So that is why we make it a requirement. And there's also a lot of money on the line. So we have to have it even across the board where everybody is making the same investment. They don't have to be following a Beachbody program, like a workout program. So if you have somebody who you're talking to and they want to add Shakeology into their life and they want to follow a nutrition program, but they enjoy going to the gym, that's fine if that's what they want to do and they just want to add nutrition, like they can totally do that. Or if you've got, I don't know, like runners and they want to add the pre and post workout into their routine and follow one of the nutrition programs, like, I don't know, maybe they want to do intermittent fasting or muscle building or something like that, they can do that. And they can continue with their running regimen and just do the pre and post workout and stuff. Does that make sense? So they have to have a current order of Shakeology or the performance line. The top 2 winners. All right. So the top winner, so the person who loses the most percentage of their body weight, okay, because it's all based on percent of body weight loss. It has nothing to do with pounds. Okay, so the top person gets 30% of the pot. Second place gets 20% of the pot. And then every other person who loses at least 5% of their body weight splits the rest of the pot. Okay, now the pot, I mean, there's like usually about 15 coaches or so that are inviting to this group. Like it gets huge, 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 huge. And the pot gets anywhere, I've seen it between $4,000 and $6,000. Like, I mean, it gets really, really big. So there's a lot of money on the line and the hype and the fun. Like this group is really, it really is fun. Like it really is fun. People love it. It's just a big, big, big group. It's a lot of work for coaches, but it really is fun. You guys think it's fun, right?
I do.
My audience like loves Biggest Loser. Oh my God. They like, it's like their jam. Like I invite people and they're like, yep, I'm in. Yep, let's do it. Because people do anything for money too. Really, they will.
It's funny because like I definitely, every time it comes up, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. But then when you start doing the invites, people totally do want it. So it's like a weird.
Sometimes I have a hard time with Biggest Loser because like my big thing that I like to like promote is it's not about the number on the scale and it's about how you feel in your skin and body confidence and stuff.
Yeah.
You tell people, Ken and I just had this conversation the other day. People they want to lose weight. They want to do it for money and they don't necessarily care about the community. Like that stuff is important, but if you tell them you're going to follow this meal plan, you're going to do this for 30 days and you're going to lose about 5 to 10 pounds, they're going to be like, yep, I'm in. because
Mhm.
that's what they want. They
They want
want,
the results.
yes, they want the results. And so if they can get the results and they can earn money, they're in. They're just in because that's what people want. They just do. If you tell them they can take 3 pills and lose 15 pounds in 2 days, they're gonna take the pills.
They will.
That's what they want. I mean, we don't obviously preach that stuff, right? Because it's all normal and natural, like weight loss and stuff. But yeah, that's what people want. So Biggest Loser is like hot. It's a hot group, man.
I really struggled at the beginning, I feel like, with feeling like it was like against like my value system or something. But I think
I
it's
did
so
too.
good to just have your ongoing group for the people who really do want community or who need to get started early, and then to offer the like, you want to compete kind of thing, like this is for you, and make the distinction for your people too of like, I mean, for some people that wouldn't be a healthy choice, right? Like, and for other people it would be. And so, you know, going live about it in your group or whatever and kind of explaining the difference and do you need that extra push and this is that group, and you know, but it's a weird balancing act when you're trying to come from like a healthy weight loss perspective for sure.
Yeah, I used to struggle when I first started coaching. I struggled with Biggest Loser too. Just because it's all about the scale, right? Like, oh, and we have they have to take before photos of themselves, and there's always a code word for weigh-in, both when you weigh in on day 1 and on day 30, because it's how we verify that there's no cheating, that everything is real and honest, and they're super, super strict on the photos and videos that come in too. So I can help you with all of that kind of stuff. Okay.
I think that we should make our own video or something of doing it, because I feel like whatever sample they put on there is like the worst sample, and like nobody, not even like people who have like degrees from Ivy Leagues, can seem to figure out the right way to friggin' do it. Like I'm like,
Video.
the video, the picture. I'm like, can we get a new picture? Can somebody like take the
Oh my
time
God,
to?
we've been using that same picture for years.
But it's horrible.
Legit
It's horrible.
years.
And
Years.
people don't really know what they like need to do. Like, I don't know. I wish there was like,
Allison, make your own. Do it.
no,
with
I know.
yours. Yes.
No, I know. I gotta tap into it and make my own thing or
Yeah.
something, because that video is not the video. The picture is like,
Yeah, that's old. We've been using that for years. I mean, before I was actually coaching, we were using that. So that was, well, 3 years ago.
yeah.
Use it 3 times a year. But that is, I mean, literally the entire month of September, I am inviting to Biggest Loser. I do have a sneak peek. So I'm going to break from talking about Biggest Loser a little bit. That's cool. My dog just dumped my cat's food everywhere, and now I'm sure she's just eating it like crazy.
Oh, gross.
Oh, Sam was never tall enough. His legs, he just was short and chubby, so he could never get the cat food. And Daisy is tall and has the longest legs ever in life. And so, oh, and Sage is in there, so she's pissed right now. I know, sorry, you guys are getting like a play-by-play on my pets right now, but it's my life.
Will you send us a picture of your calendar?
I thought you were going to ask for a picture of my cat. Because we were just talking about it.
I'm keeping you on topic. I have to go celebrate my birthday. I got my gifts. But
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, it's a big mess because I had it all done and I had to white everything out. But it's literally Biggest Loser every single day until the 16th. And then I'm talking coaching until the 24th because I'm doing a sneak peek. And then I'm just back to Biggest Loser. but literally that's it. It's Biggest
Yeah.
Loser the entire month of September.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can send you. I have a lot of like my personal stuff in here too, but
What did you? Okay. Okay. So Biggest Loser. Has anybody noticed like some crazy changes on Instagram from like stories going down and stuff like that?
no.
No.
I haven't either.
Mm-mm.
I had like my stories are like down to like 12 hours.
They only last for 12 hours?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's
weird?
strange.
That is weird.
I've never heard of that before.
No, me either.
Yeah, I don't. And then the reshare is a new feature that I finally learned it today.
What does that mean? Reshare?
So instead of the arrow, the little paper plane, you can't use that anymore. You have to go to create and then you have to go to reshare.
Yeah, actually,
Wait, is that like sharing someone's post or sharing
Mhm.
someone's story?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like if you were sharing somebody's post to your stories or like something like
A
that.
quote, like a quote.
Yeah.
It still works for me. I wonder if you guys have an update that I don't.
The
airplane thing?
through, it is coming through. Mine's the same too, but my friend Anna, she didn't have that story share option a few weeks ago, and she was asking me about it, and she thought she was like in Instagram jail, like they banned her.
That's
from being able
that's
to
how I thought it was too. And then I figured the workaround finally today.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that's how you do it.
that she figured it out too, and they just made an announcement about it too, that they were making that change. I've read it somewhere. I don't remember where I read it. So yeah, Instagram is making changes for sure. But I will say on the 21st, Body is launching,
Yeah.
and oh, the bike. I'm like, what else is Beachbody doing? The bike, cheapers. And the mixed bike is launching for US only.
Mm.
So those are two really big things. I have not quite, I'm like just starting to get out of this brain fog that I've had for the last 2 weeks. So I've not honestly wrapped my mind around Body. So Body it's BODI. It's Beachbody On Demand Interactive. So Beachbody is coming out with, it's actually really cool. Especially for people who like to take classes, but Beachbody is offering with all of their super trainers different live classes that people can take. So there's going to be a schedule up that you can actually go and you can do a live class with Autumn or Joel or any of those super trainers that like create the programs and stuff, which is pretty cool. And if you're within the first 100 who actually sign in, you will be on like the screen in the background. So everybody would be able to see you like on the screen behind the super trainer. So it's pretty cool. It's like it's like a big thing and everything. I have not quite figured out how I'm marketing it yet, which is why I don't have it in my marketing plan. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. I know I need to be better about it, but that's honestly, that's where my brain capacity is right now.
I might try to market it a little bit when I'm like in Hawaii because, well, if I go to Hawaii because they're like locking down the state, but if I go, it could be a good, like, well, still following 645, but without being able to bring equipment, tune into some body class that doesn't need equipment. And then of course using it on the days, I guess, that, maybe you feel like a little bit more, but it's maybe a mobility day, but you don't have a ton of time. Like, I don't know. I may have been doing, but I haven't really like marketed it in my stories,
Yeah, I mean, we can talk more about that when it comes closer to it. Maybe on the 15th, we can talk more about body and the bike. But yeah, that's what I have right now, you guys. That's all I've got for you.
How often do you market every week, like once a week or?
So that's a great question. So every single day, because people need to see this and they need to see things and hear things 7 times before they pick up on it. This is like a thing. It's just, I don't know, it's like a marketing thing. So every single day in my stories right now, which I have not put them in today, but I will, because I am just now realizing I forgot. I will put in the stories about Biggest Loser. So every single day in my stories, I will have, so a call to act, we call it, where there's a poll or there's something that is telling my audience to vote in the poll or to do something, go into my bio and fill out a form, or whatever it is that I want them to do. But I usually just do polls because they're easier. But every single day I will put a poll in my stories that is a call to act for Biggest Loser. So it's basically, do you want in? Do you want more information? I never ever put a no as an option in your poll. It's either like, yes, I'm in, or can we chat? Tell me more, give me the deets, like something to engage in conversation with the people who are following you. Okay. And then during the week, usually Mondays and Thursdays are usually my days. I don't know. I just have days. I think Kenna and Allison, you guys probably do too. Where I do like a call to act for a group that I'm running. So usually on Mondays, I'll put out like the post that I did this last Monday was about Biggest Loser. So tomorrow I will put out another like call to action, like where there's information about Biggest Loser and ask people to fill out a form. So usually twice a week in my feed, and then every single day in my stories. I heard one time that basically your stories are like, they're the behind the scenes of who you are as a person. So that's where your audience really gets to know you, and like kind of just who you are as a person, and they just get to know like more of the realness. Whereas your feed is your storefront, right? Like that's where you kind of want it to be pretty, although pretty is really irrelevant now, especially since they made reels. Like it doesn't really have to be, where everybody has like the same color scheme and all that. It kind of can look like a hot mess now. But it used to be pretty. It doesn't have to be now, but that's where it's like, that's your storefront, but then your stories are like who you really are. And somebody once said that it's kind of like, it's like the life of Amber, and then, oh, it's a commercial. And that's where you put in like your marketing, stories of like, for Biggest Loser, for example, right? And then it's more like, oh, the life of Amber. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like another commercial kind of a thing. So it's not always, like we always share, we do like our dance, sorry. I don't know, it's my life. But it's like, we do our dance parties with our Energize in the mornings, and we use Reels. Some people use an app called Triller, but most of us use Reels to just record those. So we do Energize, and we share like our Shakeology every day, that kind of stuff, because you want people to know that you're proof of these products, that you're actually using this stuff and that it works, and that your lifestyle, you want your audience to be able to see themselves doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to make it complicated, and you're yeah, does that help?
Yes.
Okay. What other questions do you have?
So you mentioned it, buy-in. What does that mean? Or-
The buy-in
Yeah, you said something about that from the,
for Biggest Loser?
yeah,
Yep. So that means that everybody who participates in Biggest Loser has to pay $20. That's how the pot gets so big. So if you have people who want to join you and they want to do Biggest Loser, then and we'll get once I have all of the details on like who's running the pot and all that kind of stuff and like the email and everything, I'll share it with all of you. But there's usually an email on PayPal that people just send $20 to, and one coach is in charge of keeping track of all of the money and making sure everybody is paid and keeping track of like how big the pot is and all that kind of stuff. Everybody just kind of has like a different role. That's why there's a lot of us that run it. Usually Katie Tamulonis is the one who does the pot, but I don't know if she's inviting to Biggest Loser this time. I asked her yesterday and I don't know if she's doing it. So we might have to have somebody else do the pot, but that's what the buy-in is. Not all of our groups have a buy-in, but Biggest Loser will have a buy-in for it. Yeah.
okay.
Okay. And I will also share when I sent a few text messages out earlier today to invite people to Biggest Loser, but when I have an actual invite, I will send it to you guys so that you can see what I'm saying, and then you can kind of tweak it so that it works for you. Okay. Okay. What else? What other questions, thoughts do you guys have?
Oh, I said I have one. I can put it in the chat if it's helpful to May.
Okay. You did have a question, Allison?
Sorry, no, I have an invite for Biggest Loser already. I can put it.
Yeah. That
I
would
can
be
put
good.
it in the chat if she wants it.
Yeah, go for it. That would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. I don't feel like I've talked this much in a week. Actually, my throat's getting dry. So what else? Anything? Are you all good? Yeah? Good. All right. That's it. That is all I have, my friends. Is all I have. Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's funny because I do feel like people, it just shows me that like you have to, like Amber's saying, follow up and follow up and follow up. And I'm still trying to figure out my system for following up, but I've got these two girls who, gosh, I feel like I've been talking to them for like a year. I think I have. And finally, both of them are like, okay, I'm ready. And then another girl who's like, I'm going to be ready in 3 weeks when I get my dad, her dad just passed away. When I get my dad's house like sold, and I'm like, okay, like there's faith in the universe. Like these people actually are watching me, you know, like, cause you do reach out and then it's just completely ghost town. And you're like, man, did I like do something? Like, you know, and yeah. So my point is, you may reach out to them now and they may be your customer a year and a half later.
It really is true. It is true.
Crazy town.
But we'll go over that too, because we don't ever cold invite. Like we only invite people who are like watching our stories, liking our stuff. Like we've actually had conversations with people. Like we don't ever send like hey girl messages to like random like people that we've never come in contact with before. You know what I mean? Like we connect with people and like kind of chat with them and then, you know, kind of get a feel for the conversation and stuff, especially if they're watching us consistently. Like if people are showing up and there, even if I, like you, right, May, like I didn't know you and you were like watching my stories and then you started voting in my polls and then we kind of had the conversation and then you committed and now here you are. You know what I mean? Like we are, like we never met before. Like literally this is the first time I've actually like had a conversation with you, you know? But it happens like that, right? Where you're consistently showing up and people are just sort of watching what it is that you're doing and they're getting to know you and who you are and they find something, you know, that you can relate to, you know, like Allison and I connected on our bracket stuff and you and I think connected probably like on the like faith level, right? Because I share a lot about, you know, my faith and you know, all that kind of stuff. Kenna, so she was a lead. So Kenna and I found each other because when you hit certain milestones in Beachbody, when you get 3 people to join you with a challenge pack a month, the company rewards you in the next month by giving you free customer leads. So those are people who just randomly go on the website and they purchase a product or Beachbody on demand or something. And that's what Kenna was for me. She was a random person that Beachbody gave me. And then we just happened to meet, like she asked about the coaching opportunity and we talked and now she's part of the team. So
Woohoo.
I know it's so funny. And I mean, it's kind of cool though. Like you meet some really like awesome people like from
I
coaching.
agree.
I mean, look at like all of us are from different parts of the US. You know, like we're all literally in different time zones. But you know, we're all friends and we just, I don't know, we just talk and sometimes we get off course like I do pretty often. I know. You guys are my friends. Like I just, you know, we hang out, we get to know each other, we make connections. I hope it's okay too, by the way, you guys, that our team calls are just going to be like us right now. The other, I mean, we were at the beginning of the year, like the first half of the year up until like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we were doing calls like with like my upline. So there were a lot more people on the calls and stuff like that. But then Kenna and I got talking about how we have like newer coaches. And I just feel like it's going to be easier for our newer coaches just to meet with us. Just because then I guess you guys can feel more comfortable asking questions and like we can help you a little bit more individually. You know what I mean?
I wanted to tell you, I walked Whitney through how to send 2 carts and I sent her that document that's on the back office. And so she's been actively working the business. I've been working with her. So I'm like waiting for one of her people to purchase so that I can call her out and celebrate her. But we've been meeting a lot about, you know, how to invite and how to send the carts and stuff, like the actual logistics.
Yes.
So.
And actually, I got to look and update the new coach trainings, actually, Eslyn, now that you're saying this, because May said that some of the videos in the checklist didn't work that were on Shakeology, but I've got to make sure that these videos are accurate now because they just made all of those changes to the back office.
I have an updated one that I have being sent as like my first one here. I literally just checked it. And I think it's got all the new stuff. If you want me to just send you, you can tell me if you think I should add something to it just to let me know. But like I literally just updated it. But if it helps for you to copy and paste.
That would be really helpful. Yeah, because even, you know, like how to access the share cart and everything, all of that is different because they just changed the coach office.
Yeah. I think this has everything that you need, but double check. If you think that there's something I should add to it, let me know.
Oh, I'm sure it's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. But I think it's got all the new stuff because I just sent it to Whitney and I was trying to like really streamline it as like literally like 10 things, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's it. And I didn't, and it's like some videos, some notes about posting,
Okay.
some that kind of thing. So
Perfect. Yes, thank you very, very much. Yeah, so I actually need to put that on my to-do list. My mother-in-law is taking my kids tomorrow. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Like, I love them so much. It is
lots of
a
together
really
time.
long- almost 3 weeks, you guys. Like a really long,
Oh, that's a
almost
long
3
time.
weeks of all of us stuck together in the house. Okay, like I
A
just
long
need,
time.
I need a break. I need a break. Earlier today, the kids were fighting. I just let them fight. I didn't even care. I'm like, I can't even deal with this right now. You guys can just fight and scream and whatever. I'm just gonna mind my business. That's what I did. I'm like, I can't. I don't have the energy to yell at you, to tell you to stop right now. So they figured it out. It's fine.
They usually do if they have to.
They're still alive, so whatever. Mm. I know.
I'm double
She's
checking
gonna learn all the things about motherhood from us. All the things.
I don't know how helpful we're going to be on that front, but
To make her not ever want to have children.
that.
Oh. All right. Thank you, Kristen, for sending that.
Yeah.
What other questions do you guys have? What else do you need from me? Anything?
Mm,
No, sorry. I just realized and remembered that I didn't write down my list of like the 20 people that I want to connect with in the month of September. September kind of came out of nowhere. It didn't, but it did, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks, Daddy-O.
I've been using those collections a lot in Insta and Facebook. I've been trying to use
Yes.
collections a lot.
You and I have talked about that, and I just can't. I don't know. I just can't figure it
Well,
out. It's
I will
just,
tell you
it's
this.
more work than it is good.
I will tell you this. I vacillate using it, but when like I have a day where I have time, I will go back to it. And it's a day when like I really do just want to connect with people. And it definitely offers that option of like true connection in a way that feels really authentic. And so that's what I would say it's good for. And it's an efficient way to like really be authentic and connect with people. Whereas if you're like in the mode of like, I'm going to set my timer and I'm going to connect with people, like, you know, whatever, it's harder to like come across. So that's what I use it for. And I do it within Facebook, and then I do it within Insta. And then I have all the different categories of like BRCA, parenting people. I mean, I don't do a ton of marriage stuff, but you know, I guess there would be marriage people or something like that. And then I go back in and I'm trying to watch their stories and interact, and then trying to comment on the posts.
See, and I just pick 10 to 20 people that have been like watching my stories and liking my stuff, and I try to sprinkle in people that I like need to follow up with. And then every single day when I set my timer to connect, I just type in Jamie Mascarenas. And if she has a new story, I watch it. If she has a new post, I comment on it. Or if we've been like messaging, I'll message her, or you know what I mean? Or sometimes I'll just be like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope you're having a great day. Like, but it's the exact same people every month. So, I mean, I guess it's essentially doing what you're doing, but I just write their names on my calendar and then I just make like a little tally mark.
Yeah. It might offer you a chance to do more people, to stay in touch with more people is the only thing I would say that it would maybe do. Like it might offer you a chance to have like, you know, 60 people versus 20 people, and then have that pipe more full for the next.
Do you feel like you can be authentically connecting with 60 people every day?
I'm not saying I'm connecting with 60 people every day. I'm just saying that if they're in that box, you message so many people a day that like maybe then it offers that chance to like go back and like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how deep you're going, like before you're asking them. Like I tend to ask pretty quickly on if they want to join. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, yes, I'm connecting with them authentically, but then I'm also saying pretty darn quickly, like, you know, thanks for watching. Like, do you have something that you do? Like, I'm saying that pretty quickly into the conversation. I'm not trying to I guess it's a form of a cold invite. Like, I am a fan of cold inviting because I have a recruiting, like, sales background. So I cold invite all the time.
I know Allison's going to do a call on this at some point in time.
I mean,
yeah,
I blast, like, and it does work for me. Like, it is how I get people.
Mhm.
For sure. I mean,
So in a nutshell, May, we are professional friend makers. Like we literally just make friends every single day is what we do. But like they're real, genuine like connections with people that we actually want to get to know. Does that make sense? Like I always get nervous, right? Like I don't want people to think that like, I mean, it is network marketing. Like that's what we do, right? We network like with other people, you know, but it's because we literally have something to offer people that can truly, truly change their lives. Like it's like a joke, like within our community. Like we say this on some of our sneak peeks that we are literally like the best people to be around. Oh, for the love of God, I don't know what's happening in my kitchen right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Can you hear it? It's like chaos. I don't know what's happening, and it's my dog. So I'll have to figure that out in a little bit here. But we promote health and like overall health, like eating healthy, working out, and like personal development. Like we're always learning and evolving our minds and just having like positive energy and attitudes. And like that is literally our goal, and our mission is to help people change their lives for the better. Allison Chubb, like you have to raise your hand.
I have to say something because I feel like yes, that is all those things. And I wanted to circle into like using a cold invite, and I will put this in my training. You can use a cold invite to start a conversation too, though. And that's like what I do. So like if somebody says no, then I'll get their email anyway and still send them healthy meal plans. And so like you can turn a cold invite into a friendship.
Yes, you definitely can. And it always is like, just because somebody says no, not right now, it literally just means not right now. Like they need to just keep watching you because they need to be able to trust that you are actually what you say you are, and that you're not just trying to make a buck off them, that you do actually want to genuinely help them, and that you are proof of the products working. So we are professional friend makers, and we're just constantly building trust with people. Like we just want people to trust us and be our friends is really what we want.
Okay, so when you market to those people, do you show them the products?
So I have a lot of things for you. I have a whole, in your stories, you can share whatever products you want. In your feed, not so much. Like you definitely don't want to show like a sweaty selfie of you like with your shaker cup. Do you know what I mean? Like you want to kind of create a little bit of curiosity in your feed, but in your stories, like you can say, this is my Shakeology and this is why I drink it, so that people can, you know, like understand like, okay, this is what they're getting. Because yes, they can go to the website and they can buy Shakeology, but when they commit, they're committing with you as their coach. So you are the thing that makes it different from joining anyone else or going to the website. Does that make sense? So, so you definitely want to market like the products and stuff. Like when you can take a picture of you and talk about, you know, all of the benefits of Shakeology and, you know, Energize and, you know, the lifestyle, the workouts, the at-home workouts that you can literally take with you anywhere. You can go to our pages, you know, and look at how Kenna talks about it, how Allison talks about it, and kind of get an idea, you know, of just kind of how we do it, but we all do it differently too. So, you and I can talk more to get a feel on what's going to feel comfortable and feel good for you. Okay.
I always like to say, May, I don't know if this helps you, but like when you're trying to pick somebody, when you're trying to sign somebody up, I always just say like, hey, I really want you to do what I'm doing because I can like be such like value to you because we'll be doing the same thing together. And so I want to make sure you do have everything that you really, really need. And that really does mean signing up this way. And so like, and then send them the link, the one link of the challenge pack, or if you're going to send them a deluxe, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then like having the conversation about, you know, why it works for you and what you found like after you started drinking it for a while, and like why they like have to try it because they get to try it for free, like, or their money back, and like remind them of that. And just be really confident when you say like that after 30 days, they're going to want to keep doing it.
Okay.
You know, and just like really practice what sounds good for you and how you talk and what feels really authentic, and then just be you and tell them that they're going to love it because they came to you anyway. And so there's a reason why they're reaching out, you know, to you about it.
Yep. And I will give you, I have a couple documents that are like help with conversations too. Like,
That's what I'm doing next week for the call, is all conversations and like
Okay, good.
connecting.
yes, that'll be perfect. See, this is why I wanted to do this like with just our team, because I feel like our newer coaches are going to get a lot of value out of this.
I agree, because when I first started, it was just like me and you and Allison and Tiffany and maybe Val.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anybody else? I don't even remember. I feel like Shauna maybe like joined in every once in a while, but it was very like
love her.
tight knit, and like I felt not that I'm not the type of person who like gets intimidated. Like I would ask a question on a Zoom call with 300 people. But there are a lot of people who aren't like that. So
yeah, I think this will be really helpful because we just have a lot of like newer people who I think need
Like
this
it's now almost 7 o'clock.
for sure.
I gotta go. Sorry.
No, oh my gosh.
Bye-bye.
No, we're going to.
Okay.
Go, go,
yeah,
go.
I gotta go.
Bye.
Too.
Yeah. All right. Bye, you guys. I'm gonna stop recording and stuff. All right. You guys have a good night. I took a picture too, so I'll put it in our stories. Okay.
Yay, bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, you guys. Have a good night.